Hi friends! Great welcome to our Gspace education platform. Today let we all know the interesting informations about animals in space. The first animals to reach space were fruit flies, that the United States launched aboard captured German rockets in 1947. The first mammal to reach space was a rhesus monkey, named Albert II, who flew 2 years later. Both these missions were suborbital, as were all animal flights for about a decade. The first animal to orbit Earth was Laika, a dog launched by the Soviet Union in 1957, who died in orbit. The first animals to orbit Earth and land safely were the host of animals on the Soviet Sputnik 5 mission in 1960, led by dogs Strelka and Belka. Engineers flew animals, particularly dogs, monkeys and chimps, to learn how to launch and land living beings safely, and to better understand how spaceflight might affect human bodies. Since then, animals continue to play an important role in understanding the impact of microgravity on many biological functions. Astronauts have studied all kinds of animals: wasps, beetles, tortoises, flies, worms, fish, and cockroaches, among many others. The first animals to reach space, not counting any bacteria that may have hitched a ride on previous rockets, were fruit flies. On February 20, 1947, the United States put fruit flies aboard captured German V-2 rockets to study radiation exposure at high altitudes. The first mammal in space was Albert II, a rhesus monkey launched by NASA who reached an altitude of 83 miles, 134 kilometers, on June 14, 1949. While the United States chose monkeys to stand in for humans on the earliest flights, the Soviet Union used dogs instead. The first dogs launched, Tsigan and Desik, were aboard the R-151. They were the first mammals successfully recovered from spaceflight. The first animal to orbit Earth was Laika, another Soviet dog who launched in 1957. American reporters dubbed her Mutnik as a pun on Sputnik, which the Soviet Union had launched about a month prior. It became the first satellite to reach orbit. The most famous crew members on this flight were two other Soviet space dogs, Belka and Strelka, but the flight also carried a gray rabbit, 40 mice, 2 rats, and 15 flasks of fruit flies and plants. In 1968, 2 steppe tortoises became the first animals to fly around the Moon, as part of the Soviet Zond 5 mission, which was the first successful mission around the Moon. Animals on the International Space Station. Animals continue to be studied in space today, particularly on the International Space Station. 2014, the aim was to see how microgravity affects the movements of the space ants as they search for food. 2016, 12 male mice were sent to the orbiting complex for 30 days, so that researchers could look at changes in the animal's DNA. 2017, healthy mouse babies arose from mice sperm hosted on the ISS for nearly 300 days in 2013-14, suggesting that sperm for other species could be hosted off Earth in case of catastrophe. 2021. On Earth, these animals host microbes that allow the squid to glow in the dark, according to NASA, making baby squid a helpful model for studying how the microbiome endures conditions in space. The human microbiome is vital for processes like digesting food, and researchers want to understand how these partnerships are affected by spaceflight. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates.